Hello everyone, it's Julie Lefebvre here, founder of the StrongHER community and Fueled for Life program. Okay, so excited to be here. Today we're going to talk about eat more, lose more, and I'm going to debunk some things for you, but just a little introduction if you're brand new to the StrongHER community or you're watching this over on YouTube. I just want to quickly introduce myself. I am a mom of 3. I am a former elementary school teacher. I am a certified nutrition coach, and I have been coaching women for over 6.5 years in health and wellness, and most specifically over the last couple of years in nutrition, just really gearing towards nutrition, working with women one-on-one, helping them with their nutrition goals, but helping them with their life goals. I really come from a holistic standpoint, talking about nutrition, whole food nutrition, talking stress, habits, sleep, all of that stuff as well. So it's really important because they all are related and interconnected. So it's really important to focus on those pieces as well, and not just nutrition as one or fitness as one. So let's get to it. Today we're going to talk about eat more, lose more, or eat more, burn more, however you want to see it. But now, okay, I want to clear something up. Now, it is not always true for everyone, especially if you've been eating in a surplus. So yes, you've been eating more. So yes, you do need to eat less in order to lose more, right? We need to eat in a calorie deficit if we want to burn fat. If burning fat, losing weight is your goal, you need to eat in a calorie deficit. Now, what is that calorie deficit for you, right? We really need to understand what our total daily energy expenditure is. We need to know exactly what our body needs to function at its most optimal to maintain, right? We need to know what that is for ourselves first, in order to then put ourselves in a calorie deficit. You don't need a calorie deficit like 1,200 calories. That is way too low, especially if you're a grown woman. Our toddlers, I have a 3-year-old, 1,200 calories is what he needs to function at his most optimal as a growing boy, okay? So as adult women, especially if we're athletes or active and we are working out, we need more calories than that, even if we are in a calorie deficit. So we need to really make sure that we know how much we need to be consuming every single day with our lifestyle and all of that stuff, our activity level, and then go to a calorie deficit from there. So yes, if you are eating in a surplus, if you're overeating, yes, you need to eat less in order to burn more, okay? Specifically, that's the science. You need to be in a calorie deficit. However, most women that I talk to are not eating enough. They are under eating. We are eating too far into a calorie deficit, or we've been eating in a calorie deficit for far too long. And I'm going to talk about the science behind that. I'm going to talk about what that does to our bodies if we've been in a calorie deficit for far too long, whether we know it or not, right? Some women are just eating, and I hear this from so many women, I eat really healthy. I eat really healthy. Well, that doesn't mean anything to me if I don't know how much you're eating. If you're not eating enough, it doesn't matter whether you're eating healthy or not. Eating healthy is really important, right? We want to nourish our bodies with the micronutrients and macronutrients that our body needs to function at its most optimal. But the amount is really important as well, okay? So it's going to affect our overall health. It's going to affect our metabolism, our sleep, our stress, our hormones. All of that stuff gets affected if we're not eating enough food, if we're not consuming enough. So yes, healthy food is important, but we also want to make sure that we're getting more of it, okay? So most women are under consuming, and we want to make sure that if we want to burn fat, the key is calorie deficit. I've mentioned that before. You guys are hearing me talk about that again and again and again. We need to be in a calorie deficit. But here's what happens when you go into a calorie deficit. So let's say you're doing one of those 21-day programs or a 30-day program or a 12-week program, and you're put into a calorie deficit, okay? So you have weight that you want to lose. Two things happen. You burn fat right? We're in a calorie deficit so we can burn fat. And 2, our metabolism slows down. That is just science. When you go into a calorie deficit, your metabolism adapts and naturally slows down to adapt to what the calories you are consuming. Okay, so that's what naturally happens. Okay, so our metabolism slows down. So let's say if you're somebody who has like 5 or 10 pounds to lose, you can lose that, burn that fat in about 12 weeks, right? It's possible. That's about half a pound to a pound a week, depending on how much you're trying to lose. And so it's possible to lose that in that 12 weeks. So we've gone into a calorie deficit, we're burning fat, our metabolism is slowing down as a result of it, and we could potentially lose that 5 pounds over that 12 weeks or 10 pounds over that 12 weeks, right? So, but let's say you have more weight to lose than that, and you're like, but I just need, Julie, I need to stay in this calorie deficit. I have more weight to lose. I can't stop, or I don't want to stop. Here's the thing that happens when you stay in a calorie deficit for long term, okay? Your metabolism continues to slow down. Your metabolism will continue to slow down. But at some point, we stall, right? Have you ever hit a plateau, stall, or started to gain the weight back? Put a hand up in the comments if you've ever gone into a calorie deficit, done a diet or some program, or you just, for yourself, you weren't tracking anything, but you started eating healthier and you noticed that you were losing weight. That meant you're in a calorie deficit, by the way. Okay, so if you started to lose the weight just by starting to eat healthier, you had put yourself into a calorie deficit. But have you ever noticed that you've stalled or you've hit a plateau? Okay, so if that has ever happened to you, put your hand up in the comments. Yes, I've hit a plateau. Yes, I've stalled with my weight loss. So what is happening is your metabolism has slowed down to a point, and it stalls. It stalls you, right? So what do? And this is what most women do. This is not my recommendation. This is what most women will do. They'll increase their workout. So they'll work out harder. They'll work out more, longer. Oh, I need to do an hour workout now because I've stalled. It's not working anymore. So they try to work out more to fix it. Or they start to decrease their intake even more. They start to eat even less because we've been taught if we eat less, we'll lose more, right? So a lot of women will then change their intake. They'll go into a further calorie deficit. Well, what happens there? Your metabolism continues to slow down. So it might work for a little bit to change your intake and go even further into a calorie deficit, but what's going to happen again is you're going to stall. Your metabolism, your body is so smart. What your body will do is try to protect you. So at some point, you cannot get any further in your calories. You can't keep going into this deficit or continue on that deficit. So this is why we stall. This is why we plateau, or this is why we tend to gain the weight back, because our metabolism is so slow now, it starts to hold onto the fat to protect us. All right, our body needs that fat for our brain and body to function, and so it's so smart, it's protecting you. So when you tell me my body, it's failing me, it's not doing what it's supposed to, actually your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to. It's protecting you. So at some point, you just can't go any further. You've stalled, now you're gaining the weight back, or you've plateaued, you're frustrated, okay? So this is why a reverse diet is so important after a calorie deficit. Having an exit strategy to restore your metabolism, your metabolic capacity. You need to now raise your metabolism back up because your metabolism slowed right down when you went into that calorie deficit. So I hear from women, but I just want to keep losing that weight. I don't want to give up that 3 months to do a reverse diet. But here is the thing. People who have done a reverse diet, I'm talking about women who are right now who still have weight to lose, okay? For a second, we're going to talk about women who have still have weight to lose, but they do a 12-week calorie deficit, then they do a reverse in between, okay? They still have weight to lose. It has been shown that it's more effective to take that break because you become even more fat burning afterwards when you go back into a calorie deficit. But when you go back into a calorie deficit after the reverse, your calorie deficit is a lot higher than it was before, okay? Because we're restoring the metabolism by eating more food. We're boosting that metabolism back up. We're restoring that metabolic capacity, right? We're increasing the capacity that you have. So we're gonna raise it up so that next time you go into a calorie deficit, you're here burning fat versus way down here, right? So a lot of you are sitting at 1,200 calories, you're hangry, you're moody, even if I would even argue some 1,200, 1,500, 1,700 is just not enough for you. And when we do that reverse, we really increase you up to a maintenance level that's a lot higher. So you could be burning at 1,800 calories. 1,800 calories sounds way more fun to me to burn fat than 1,200. You have much more freedom and flexibility with the food. You get to eat more food. You have more energy, all of that stuff. So we want to restore the metabolic capacity. It's really important that we do it, regardless of if you've hit your goal or not. After a 12-week calorie deficit, it is really important that you restore your metabolism because you are doing damage to your body if you continue on in that calorie deficit. You are just relying on that scale. But we want to be healthy overall. So we want our metabolism, our hormones to be healthy. So we want to restore that metabolism. We want to restore our metabolic capacity. So we raise it up by doing a reverse diet. This is why I talk about it so much, because it's not talked about, right? There are coaches out there that put you on these calorie deficits and they just say, keep going, get better, do better, lower your amount of intake, but you have to restore at some point, right? So we need to restore the metabolism, increase our metabolic capacity so that the next time we go into that calorie deficit, the deficit will be a lot higher next time, okay? So it's really important that you understand that. If you're somebody who's, been in a calorie deficit, you've reached your goal, that's great. Yes, a reverse diet is important for you as well. We want to raise up that metabolism. We want to raise our metabolic capacity so we can sit at maintenance, right? Because you've lost the weight you wanted to lose. You burned the fat off. You lost that 5 pounds of fat. We want to sit there, but at a higher level of maintenance. So you can sit there and try to maintain eating 1,500 calories for the rest of your life, but that's not fun. So we do the reverse diet. We raise your metabolism, and we can sit at 2,000 calories a day and maintain that. That sounds like more fun to me. That means more energy, better mood, balanced hormones, right? We want our higher libido. You're welcome, ladies. Higher libido. You are welcome. Restored metabolism. Warmer hands and feet. Do you find you ever have cold hands and feet? That's a sign that your metabolism is really slowed down. Clearer skin. You burn more fat. Vibrant. More energy. You just feel better. Less bloating. Better sleep. Better mood. You're not hangry anymore. So these things are really important, and you could hear the passion in my voice when I talk about how important it is to restore your metabolism after a calorie deficit. Whether you've hit your goal or not, you cannot be in a calorie deficit forever, because what is going to happen, I'm going to explain this to those of you who are in a calorie deficit long term but still have weight to lose. Okay, you are going to continue in that calorie deficit. You slowed your metabolism down. I've explained this. But when you hit your goal, you have to then, if you want to maintain, you're going to have to maintain at that really low number. You're going to have to really work really hard to try and maintain eating very few calories. And that's not fun, right? So we want to have more freedom and flexibility with our food choices. We want to have more freedom and flexibility, be able to eat more. And I've explained all the benefits to doing that. So if this sounds like you, if you are someone who has been in a calorie deficit and hit your goal, or you're in a calorie deficit and you haven't quite hit your goal, or if you're somebody who is stalled and plateaued and feeling stuck, then you need to consider a reverse diet. Now, I am opening up 3 free consult calls for next week. Next week, that's all I have spots for. I've brought on so many clients in January that I only have room for 3 more clients in January. So I am opening up 3 consult calls for people to talk about your goals, to talk about if I can help you, if the Fueled for Life program will help guide you in. We can, if you need a reverse diet, if that's where you're at and need your metabolism restored, and how we can then move you into fat loss if that's the goal, is fat loss, but your metabolism needs to be restored right now. That's the next step, is doing that reverse diet and moving into fat loss after. Or if you have weight to lose and you have gained weight, and the damn pandemic weight, right? Damn coronavirus. So some of my clients are in the fat burn stage. We have them in a calorie deficit. I have other clients right now that are working with me that are on a reverse diet. We're trying to restore their metabolism while maintaining the results that they've achieved, right? So it's they're not gaining weight while they're increasing their calories. The goal is to maintain their results while increasing their calories over a long period of time. So over those 12 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks is kind of the reverse that we do. So if you would like one of those 3 spots, you can shoot me a message, or I will put a link in the comments. You can fill out an application and we can set up a call if it's a good fit for you. And we can you can book in on one of those 3 free consult calls, and I will talk to you about your goals. We'll talk about, share some tips with you that can help you moving forward, and if I can help you further in that as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's Eat More, Burn More workshop, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye.